What is going on, you stallions and stallionettes? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven. So I made a video 2 days ago saying that Bethesda games were coming to Game Pass, and 2 days later, 20 of these titles are making their way to Game Pass, and they are all absolute classics, fan favorites, and absolute dank bangers, as the kids say. Not to mention, almost all of them are playable on console, so Xbox One and Xbox Series S and X, as well as on PC, and a handful of these titles are also playable on xCloud if you do like to play Microsoft's gaming service. Let's talk about these new titles making their way to Game Pass. Alrighty guys, sharing my screen over here, I have an article pulled up. Anytime I cover any kind of news, I cite my sources, so this will be linked in the description below if you want to read this article in its entirety to educate yourself further. So, all of these games down here are coming to Game Pass. So, for $10 a month if you're on the console only, or $15 a month, you get Game Pass Ultimate, and that will give you the entire Game Pass library on PC as well as console. And the coolest part about that is that you can actually switch between the two platforms. So you save a game, it saves all your trophies, all your level progression, your character creation, all that stuff. And then you hop over there into the living room or bedroom where you have your console and you pick up your game from there. I think that's really cool as somebody that does play on both console and PC. And then also with that $15, you are getting Xbox Live Gold, so that'll have all your online gaming support, as well as 3 free games a month that you can download. They're not really free, but, you know, you're paying for the subscription. But included with your service, you get 3 games that generally are not on Game Pass. They're like either, it's usually like a Xbox 360 classic, an Xbox One classic, and then some kind of a new game or indie game. So a lot of the titles that I kind of predicted or speculated would be on Game Pass, 2 days later are on Game Pass, and they are, in my opinion, the best of the Bethesda lineup. Now, Bethesda Games, or ZeniMax, is basically the parent company, the umbrella that covers Bethesda Studios, as well as 7 other studios. Now, those are all first-party studios belonging to Microsoft, as they did purchase them for $7.5 billion. I did cover in September when that deal started. It is the largest acquisition of a gaming studio in video game history. Prior to that, it was about $440 million. So $7.5 billion, that's the kind of money that Team Green is throwing around with their gaming platform. Microsoft is taking this very serious. We are getting Dishonored, which I personally never played Dishonored. I've never launched it, and that sucks, and I plan on remedying that in the near future because I've watched people play it before. A lot of my friends own it, and I know it's a good game. Now you're getting the definitive edition of Dishonored with all the DLC, and you're also getting Dishonored 2. And again, this title here is going to be playable on the Xbox consoles, PC, and the xCloud service, and like I said, that includes the DLC, which is all these add-on packs right here. Dunwall City Trials, the Knife of Dunwall, the Brigmore Witches, and Voidwalker's Arsenal. Now, this one I am incredibly excited about. As someone that's into retro games, if you guys have been around the channel for a while, you can see the retro consoles on the wall back there. I have a ton of emulators from everything from NES, Sega Genesis, PlayStation 1, to some of the 4th and 5th generation stuff. For example, the N64, the Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, stuff like that. So I really do love the Doom series, and a lot of these old games are worth a revisit if you've never played them before, either because you didn't own these consoles as a child, or maybe you're a younger gamer that didn't get to experience, you know, you were not born in 1993, so you've never played Doom Original. Now, Doom 1 and 2, I will say, are a little bit, I'm not going to say too old for my flavor, but I just, it's cool to see where the game franchise started, but me personally, I can't get too behind Doom 1 and 2. I've tried. Doom 3, which was originally on the Xbox original. I always want to call it the Xbox One, but of course Microsoft's console naming convention over there is ridiculous, you know what I mean? The Xbox No Scope, the Xbox Tomahawk Deluxe, like, just go in numerical order like PlayStation did. Makes more sense. But the Xbox One original had Doom 3. And this was a very good game, and that hasn't changed. You also get Doom 64, which sure enough was on the N64. And then you guys get Doom Eternal, which I'm sure you guys know because it's used in the PC world a lot to test frame rates and benchmarks because it is a very, very fast-paced first-person shooter. That is on console, PC, and xCloud. Definitely would recommend checking out all those games.
I still love you.
Never played Morrowind, but I know that kind of launched the franchise into what it is. Same thing with Oblivion. I did play a lot of Oblivion. It is an amazing game. That is on console and PC. And then Skyrim, baby. You've heard of that game for a reason. It's absolutely amazing. The special edition, which has all the DLC, is on console, PC, and xCloud. Yes. Now, Elder Scrolls Online was definitely a fan favorite. It wasn't a fall-on-the-face failure like Fallout 76 was, which is the online version of Fallout. Now, Elder Scrolls Online actually has quite a hefty following, and it is a cult classic, and that is on the xCloud as well as on console, so not on PC. But that's definitely worth a checkout.
Well then, taste, it shall be.
The Evil Within, probably one of the darkest games out there, even for Bethesda. If you look at Bethesda's traditional library, all of their games, like Dishonored, Doom, Elder Scrolls isn't really violent or dark, but it certainly isn't something you want your children playing right before bed. You know, Prey, Rage, Wolfenstein, which is about the Nazis. Like, their whole library is pretty frisky, you know what I mean? Pretty aggressive, pretty dark. Even by those standards, The Evil Within takes it to a real deep twist in the taco, so to speak, boys. So this is a good one to try out. If you have any small children, make sure you bring them in the room when you're gaming this if you want to have some good dreams in their beddy by time.
And plucked the man's eyeballs out of his sockets. Ow! Ah! The fellow was screaming, "I'm blind! I can't see! Oh, God! I can't do it all! I can't do it all!" Twice.
Now over here, very excited about this. Fallout 4, fantastic game. Again, that is all the DLC. Fallout 76, not a huge fan of, neither is the entire Fallout community. It kind of was seen as the black sheep of the family.
It's like a Twizzler, look!
And then Fallout New Vegas. Now, out of all the Fallout games, I did put the most hours and time into New Vegas. It is an amazing game. Now, I will say Fallout 4 is better in its core gameplay and whatnot, but just the story and I guess kind of the time frame for me as a gamer, New Vegas just took a lot of my time. So New Vegas is super fun, and that is going to be on console, PC, and xCloud.
That's a huge bitch!
Now, you also have the 2017 hit from Arcane Studios, and that is Prey, which is a survival in-space shooter. So think of that kind of like Dead Space, if you will. Again, there is already a tremendous library of games on Gamepass, but the fact that we're getting 20 of the best Bethesda games, if you are a streamer, for example, and you're looking for content, a good game to stream that's not oversaturated, so not Warzone or Fortnite, but also something that will get views because there are major communities behind. There are tight-knit little communities that look for entertaining and informative streamers that cover these games. You know what I mean? Like Elder Scrolls, there's people that want to watch you play Oblivion. There's people that would want to watch you play Dishonored. There's people that would want to watch you play Fallout New Vegas. So if you're a streamer, you know, you have Game Pass, you can play this on your PC for 15 bucks a month, any of these games here. To me, I do really think that Game Pass, in conjunction with like an Xbox Series S, is probably the best value for this for the 9th generation of consoles. I'm a little biased. I do have an Xbox Series S sitting in my entertainment center right next to the PS5, so I bought that for a reason. Could have bought the Series X, did not, for a reason. I think the Series S and Game Pass is the dynamic duo, the dream team when it comes to the best way to get into the next generation of gaming, this generation. All right, Rage 2 is coming to console, PC, and xCloud. This is a very fast-paced game. Kind of think of it like Wet on the PS3. It's just very fast-paced, you know, linking kills and combos together. Kind of like Doom in a sense, but different. You kind of have to play it to understand, but just think of a very fast-paced, gory game, and that's Rage 2. And then Wolfenstein. The Wolfenstein series, I probably don't need to tell you guys too much about that, but it is it's a first-person shooter around a fictional Nazi storyline. It's pretty sweet. That is on console, PC, and xCloud. But that's not all, boys. We're not done yet.
Oh, yes.
The announcement today, the Thursday announcement from Microsoft and Bethesda, also mentioned that a handful of these games, boys, grab yourself a handful.
That's Enzo. He's Italian. His nutsack is insured for $1 million.
That's $500,000 each.
Will also benefit... Oh, I'm going to get excited just letting these words slip out of my gums. will benefit from FPS Boost on the Xbox Series X and S. Now, I love when Microsoft does this, and they've done this with several titles already. They're taking a slew of games from the 360, Xbox Original, Xbox One, and obviously new-gen games, and boosting them from either 30 to 60 or 60 to 120 of their original frame rate. So a lot of these games here that you've already played, this will give you a reason to revisit them, considering you are going to have a very, very fluid, smooth frame rate. Now, this especially matters for some of the first-person shooters and fast-paced games like Rage, Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein, Dishonored. You know, for like Elder Scrolls and MMORPG where it's mostly just dialogue and, you know, tap to take a kneecap. Games like that, it's not really that big of a deal. For all these first-person shooters, though, high frame rate substantially matters. So that's freaking awesome. I'm very excited about this. I feel like they did add basically all the games that I had speculated they would. And that's exciting because Bethesda makes some good games. And the fact that you can play all of these with a frame rate boost for about $15 a month, 10 if you don't want online gaming with Xbox Live and cross-platform mobility with the PC and the console. So I'm excited. Personally, I think that's a great value. If you're a Bethesda fan, solid. Again, not sponsored by Xbox or anything like that. I do have a link down there in the description below to Gamepass if you want to pick up a subscription of that, because I really do honestly believe it is the best value in gaming right now.
Silverback he bitch.
Drop down there in the comment section below which of these games you're excited and you're going to be playing. Are you going to be streaming any of these bad boys? Liking the video helps it to get seen by more people so you can personally be part of growing my channel, which I greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I do a lot of news around the gaming community and industry, as well as a lot of tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing. See you guys in the next video. Peace.